Hey everybody, BrickLover18 here today with a LEGO City rebuild update. So a few weeks ago now you would have seen the videos where I tore apart my LEGO City and kind of rearranged my LEGO room. Well, I'm excited today to be finally doing some rebuild to my city. So as you can see here, my city is in a different layout, in a different spot in my LEGO room, and it's a bit smaller. So I am happy I did this because the city was what I was spending the least amount of time, in my LEGO room doing. I only made videos on it every once in a while, and I didn't really mess around with it or change it very often. But it took up most floor space. So I had to do some rearranging to ensure that I was getting the most bang for my buck here in my studio. And this is the new location of the city. So it's in an L, which is pretty cool. This is kind of what it looks like from a bird's eye view. And it's half full right now because there's a lot of changes to make. And then this part's technically kind of part of the city, but I'm going to keep it pretty separate. It's a different level, it's a different area, but the fair will be up here, and then the rest of the city will be over here. So as you can see right down here, I've got all my LEGO modular buildings. There is quite a few, and then a couple of the high rises right here. I also just finished building the new LEGO bookstore, so that's why this video is a bit more delayed. It's been a few weeks from other reasons in the last video, but of course because I wanted to build the bookstore and make sure it gets a place of glory amongst all of these new modular buildings. So I would say the first step is going to be just kind of clearing off this area here because it's not all going to be put back into the city, and anything that won't be put back will either be destroyed or of course put around these bookshelves that I have in my LEGO room. So we will have to do some cleaning and we will see how the city kind of starts to take shape. Hey everyone, we are back. I have finally put in all of the black paper down on the two tables here. That actually took surprisingly long because of course it wasn't the right size, so I had to do lots of cutting and trimming, but it does look good. So far the only building in the LEGO City is the Bricks Tower complex, and that is just because that's the only one that's too hard to move, so I will not be taking it off, and we'll probably be building the city very much around this tower, but still some ways to figure out. I have no idea where I want to put anything whatsoever. Right now it's all just up in the air, but with everything going on here in my LEGO room, as you can see, it's pretty packed. I am looking forward to the challenge of putting everything back in the LEGO City. Hey everyone, we are back. It's been a little while again, and I've been putting some buildings back into my LEGO City. This is where we're at right now. Because it's a much smaller city, I'm not as worried about it being as practical, as some cities. I just want it to look nice, here in my LEGO room and really show off my collection. So I do have some of these modular buildings turned the wrong way, as you can see. Normally that wouldn't be the case, obviously, because this would be the back of the city, because the road is happening behind it. But what I'm thinking I'm going to do is kind of build like a boardwalk along here to make it look like almost the city's kind of an island, and then there's just a railing all the way around. Not sure how I'm going to do that or how I'm going to integrate it into the city, but that's what my plan is right now. And then of course I've got some of the other buildings back here. I'm going to move this building because I don't like it on the edge of the city like that. I think it's just, it looks weird kind of overlapping the window, and there's that gap right there. But so far so good. This black building is going to go back on top of those modulars, and it's going to look like a really nice kind of downtown vibe over here, especially when it's all said and done. And then I still do have several buildings to put back in the LEGO City, and then everything over here. I do have to figure out where the park is going to go. I'll probably put that off to the side here. I did connect a wire. I didn't mention this, but I did connect a wire down to behind the table in case I do want to run some lights or anything like that. A lot of the buildings do have them already integrated, so if I decided to make use of that, I could easily do it. But I've also added the fire station in right there. I originally in my last city, it was full, and then this city I feel like I have a lot more room. I added the new modular building in as well. I put the bookstore, the one part here, and then I put the apartment type building here because I just thought they would look nice that way together. And so far so good. So far I am happy with it, and there's lots to continue to do in the city, but lots of potential as well. Hey everyone, I'm back for one final time. This is going to be the end of the first video just because I'm about to head out of my studio now, but I wanted to show you the progress that I made. I've actually made a ton of progress in the last few hours or so. It looks really, really good. So I'll just give you a quick tour and some quick plans. So right here is the empty space. This is where I want to add the park. I want to make it a really cool park, just kind of like the last time I had. I really enjoyed it. And then of course this will be the fair, I don't know if it's going to be integrated into the city. We'll have to see kind of how that goes. I've got the police station, which is kind of off on its own right now, but I'll have to do something to integrate it a little more. Got the fire station, the assembly square, and the garage, and then my custom building up here. Down at the front here, I have the Grand Emporium, the detective's office, the one part of the bookstore, the one part of the pet store, and then the bank, and then of course I've added my custom skyscraper up here. It's just set on top right now, that's a skyscraper. It's going to be placed much nicer. And then at the back here, I've got the bricks tower and the other part of the pet shop, which looks really cool as far as I'm concerned. And then I've got the downtown diner, the bookstore, and the Palace Cinema over here. I might even change that up, put the Palace Cinema right there and the diner right there. We'll have to see how that looks, but that's what I'm thinking. And then back here I have the hospital as well as the big office tower here, and then a couple little buildings here. So there is still lots and lots to do in the Lego City. I will still be doing lots. As you can see, I have got a lot of things that were in the city. I did get them put away, or put back in, and then there's not too much that's not going to be included in the new Lego City, which I think is pretty good, because I didn't want to tear down the city and then not be able to include a lot of it. Honestly, just from this angle, I really like the way it looks. I think it's practical, I think it makes sense, and I just think it's a great way to display all my Lego modular buildings and things like that. Like, I pay so much money for it, I want to be able to see them, I want to see them on display, and of course I want it to look good and be kind of like a practical city. So I think this is the best of both worlds. But anyway, thanks so much for watching part number 1 of rebuilding my Lego City. We'll have to stay tuned for part number 2. I will make one very soon, and hopefully be able to kind of finish up the city and start doing more regular city updates for you all. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and of course subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.